Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning. How are you?
I was beginning to wonder if anybody was there. I'm doing pretty good.
Physically, not mentally, but yeah, we're here.
Huh?
That physically, maybe not mentally.
This is true. My hand's getting better. My elbow's getting better. Bandages come off today and stay off.
Just in time to start shoveling.
What about a search shovel? What?
Your bandages come off just in time to start shoveling snow.
Yep, they're coming. Anesthesia must have messed up my hearing. I can't hear today.
Is that the excuse we're going with today?
That's my excuse today, and I'm sticking to it.
Did you have a good
Thanksgiving? How you been? Yes. Fairly quiet.
Hey, I take quiet over drama any day.
Yeah. Got to watch the football game, but I have to get up and watch the parades, man. I'm telling you, it ain't Thanksgiving unless I watch the parade.
So the Genio float for the first time, Genio Turkey Company was in the parade.
Mm-hmm.
The band that marched with them is from Minnesota here.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was thinking, wow, I wonder if Mary's watching that.
I only watch it just for that. Normally, I don't watch the Macy parade. Normally, I'm the one in the kitchen while the parade's going on. So it's background music.
Yeah, I hear that. My wife actually was able to sit down and watch the parade a little bit before we made dinner.
We had the turkey that took forever to get done. So we planned to eat at 1, 2 o'clock. We didn't get to eat till about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's par for the course.
Yeah. Google calculations were wrong.
You think? We don't do the turkey anymore. We just do the we get a boneless turkey breast. We do it that way. do the stuffing, but we do the mashed potatoes and gravy and cranberries and green bean casserole, baked corn, all the good stuff.
We did too. We made pies. One year, I want to try. I want to buy and get a turducken.
Get a what?
A turducken. It's a turkey stuffed with chicken, stuffed with a duck. I'm just curious about the concept. Not to mention, I want to see my kids' faces when we start carving into it, and all of a sudden, there's other things come out.
I saw this one thing on Facebook. The dad had got a big turkey, and he stuffed it with a chicken. And whenever the kids got it out of the oven and started preparing it to put the stuffing in it and everything, they said, "Man, there's something in there." So they pulled it out and they said, "Oh, the poor thing was pregnant."
Oh, yeah, we have a little bit of a situation here with the kids. So my son's 8, going to be 9 at the end of the month. He is now drawing atomically correct or building atomically correct girls on Minecraft when he builds the statues.
And this is a bad thing?
It's not what my daughter, his sister's response was. She had to come get Dad, then show Dad, then come get me and show me, so that I would yell at him for being inappropriate. And I lost. I just started laughing. Like, at least he knows what boys and girls are.
Yep. Unlike a lot of people.
It's funny because he has this big smile on his face, and the minute you turn the computer on and his Minecraft screen pops up and he builds all these big elaborate things, I'm just thinking, thank God it wasn't a boy. And he runs and turns the computer off right away.
Oh, my. Yeah, it's not like it used to be.
Well, he uses Minecraft to build things. And he does, it's really cool because he builds words standing up and it's in the sky, and he makes these elaborate architectural designs. He sees it and then he copies it. He doesn't actually play Minecraft for the concept that it was created. He plays it to create things. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not a game type person, but
I'm not really either, but what parents don't understand, especially computer gaming more than handheld gaming, is it's very good because you're using a mouse and you're using the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good to increase the communication on your left and your right brain, which is why these kids can process things at a speed faster than most of us. In moderation, it's very good for kids. It's like how we used to do windmills and square dancing and stuff in gym class. All those little exercises that we thought we were doing to make ourselves healthier, yes, in a way it was, but it was also to help increase the communication between your left and your right brain. To increase your processing speed in your brain, like tuning up your computer.
I didn't like gym class. Mainly because I didn't like the teachers.
I love gym class. But then again, like my gym teacher was in elementary school was the same gym teacher like my uncles all had. So they all knew my family.
Oh.
But I was one of those kids that couldn't sit still, get bored in class.
Mm-hmm. Crazy things. Crazy what we remember. Yeah, the in my school, the lady gym teacher for the girls was my health class teacher in 10th grade.
Oh, yeah, you were where they were still segregated. I was thankful for that I didn't have to deal with that.
Yep, the girls were on one side and boys were on the other. And once a year they would have what they called a powder puff game. That was interesting.
I bet it was. You know, they used to do fun things in gym class. Like my uncles, they were showing pictures of different things they used to do that we don't do now.
Like
what? Now, well, like different things like dodgeball and basketball and things. And now kids don't play sports as a competition. Now it's everybody gets a trophy. Yes. Everyone gets a prize.
Nobody's a loser. Yes, they are.
Yeah, my kids don't play sports. They're bored.
Huh?
Kids don't play sports like that because they get bored because they're like, Mom, what's the point if we don't keep score?
Right. I don't know whose bright idea that was.
Parents involved in the PTA whose kids could not get into a sport because they sucked and they wanted to look good on their college transcripts. It was that whole self-esteem building of the 2000s where, you know, we make our kids feel bad because they suck at something instead of teaching them how to get better at it or just telling them some days they're not going to be good at this. We decided that to help their mental health, we were going to make them happy all the time.
Mm-hmm. Gonna make them compliant.
My daughter got compliant. I don't know. As a parent, there's days you wish your kids were compliant, but when they work together to outsmart you and they figure out loopholes in the system, it makes me proud. Like yesterday, I yelled at the kids to pick up the crap off the floor. And my son repeats that, pick up the crap off the floor. And so they work together to take all the crap off the floor, shove it on the bottom bunk bed, and then they take a blanket and tuck it underneath the bottom of the bunk and pull it all the way up the top bunk and tuck it underneath the bed so it's like a curtain. And they both have big smiles on their face. So, I know they didn't do what they're supposed to do and put it away. But Mom didn't say put it away. Mom said pick up your crap. So A, mom's first choice.
Got to be specific.
And 2, they work together. So, you know.
Of course they do.
So how do you, I mean, you get mad at them for not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But at the same time, they're working together to find loopholes. And eventually they got the crap picked up and put away in the right boxes and totes and whatever. But that's like, you know, I would rather see kids work together, especially brothers and sisters or siblings, to outsmart parents or, you know, whatever, coordinate the attacks. Like if I start yelling at one, the other one comes to the defense.
Hmm. Yep. I hear that.
At least I know they have each other's back.
Yeah. Any of them like country and western?
My son does. My daughter thinks it's just noise.
Your daughter thinks it's what?
It's noise. But she's getting into that Korean music. It's not quite K-pop, but it's kind of a mix of like a little bit of pop, but more, it's really weird to explain. It's almost like a folk type version of music. It's really kind of not bad. I don't mind. I tolerate it. I'd like to know the words more than anything, but.
My son, he likes country and western, but my daughter calls him a hick town redneck.
I know that feeling. When I came here from Texas to Minnesota, you know, cowboy boots with every outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still love my country music.
Yeah, I miss the military life at times.
Well, so I didn't give you the announcement. So, Blog Talk Radio, the platform this radio station is on, is shutting down at the end of January. But we are going to continue it on another platform. So there'll be a seamless transition, but there'll be a new system in place. But we will be going live. I don't know yet. Because I know, I'll let you know. But we will be also going live on our social media accounts at the same time. And we got an email from Apple. The radio shows on Optimize My Life are ranked 115th in the philosophy category.
Cool.
We're getting there.
Yeah, getting there. Oh, the last time I was on, remember you said you were going to send me something? Did you send it to me?
Yep. I did not. I forgot.
I was going to say, I was looking through my emails and my messages, and I didn't see anything, so I wanted to ask you that today. And if you would have said, yeah, I sent it, I was, uh-oh.
No, I forgot because I ended up getting an email from the Royal Certification Academy to get my autism certification, to be a certified international autistic coach.
Cool.
And so I held went through 120 classes in a matter of days. I took the test yesterday, and I passed. I got 90 out of 120 on my certification test. So I am now officially internationally certified in autism.
All right.
But I had to talk to the company because he didn't want to give me the test right away because of all the paperwork, all the stuff that they send you. They wanted to make sure you know it. They're actually very critical about making sure you don't just take the test and don't know crap. And I'd explain who I was and my credentials and how I went through the information. I know the information. I've lived the information. So they gave me the test early. Ended up taking it last night. Took about 2 hours to do, but the best part was it only cost me $100.
No.
For the certifications and the courses, instead of the thousands of dollars that it normally takes.
Mhm.
Which is why I didn't have it yet. So I will get that sent to you this week.
Forget what it was or what it was
Stuff
about.
on like ancient Hakawau and some of the ancient Eastern medicine.
Yes.
With your chakras and your tapping points. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to send me something about veterans cruises again?
Yeah.
Not this.
I'll send you that.
Not next year. You said there's going to be some other cruises coming up, so.
There is coming up next year.
I know there's one coming up.
And May.
When?
And we're not going to go. Yeah, we were going to go, but now we're not going to go because some stuff came up.
Well, I thought you already paid for it.
I put a down payment down for it.
So what?
You didn't have to
Why aren't you going to go?
fully pay for it. So we just got a lot of stuff coming up and dealing with that I have to get straightened out first.
But it sounds like you're going to need a vacation or a getaway, I should say. Getaway.
Yes, but the getaway I needs to be closer to home because I don't know about the financial situation by then. Things are a little too unstable.
What was that last part? I'm sorry.
Things are a little unstable in my world at the moment. Some things I have been dealing with.
I hear that.
Talk about it off air.
Sounds okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on. But here's the good news. We are partnering with, I have some people to introduce you to that are ex-military soldiers in Australia. Because Australia does not have programs available for veterans struggling with mental health issues. They're worse than the Americans. I don't know how we deal with it. And so we're going to help create programs for them overseas. And so there's some veterans that I'm teaching to do different things that we're going to partner with.
Cool.
I don't know, you're going to be able to tolerate another person as sarcastic as I am?
You say what?
As sarcastic and twisted as I am?
Yeah, I can tolerate that.
Well, here's the sad part. Our program stopped veterans, especially when they're struggling, with homelessness and mental health issues. But it's even worse when you find out countries don't have nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't even have any veterans clubs, do they? All they got is bars.
That's all we got. I mean, we're getting better.
Yeah.
But nah, they really don't have anything.
Wow.
So we're expanding and working with them to create stuff.
Yeah, I like the Aussies. I love I just enjoy them.
Well, not this year, but next year we're planning a trip to go down there.
No,
we do.
nice.
Maybe you and your wife can come with.
Okay.
I'm not exactly keen about going to a place where everything wants to kill you all the time.
Well, that sounds like America. It'd just be a back door.
Yes.
Or a backyard, should say.
My buddies send me pictures of the green snakes, up in the tree outside their door.
Nah, no thanks.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't gone to Okinawa. Because of Habu snake. The SR-71, there was a squadron in Okinawa called the Habu Squadron. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, their tail sign was the Habu on the back tail fin.
Huh. Speaking of which, there's always been these conspiracies and rumors about Hitler surviving World War II.
Oh, yeah.
And, the big concept, the big conspiracy about it is because Russia took the body and they keep moving it and won't release where it is and who it is and yada, yada. There's a couple guys that went through all the JFK files. And apparently mixed into some of the JFK stuff. Apparently JFK was doing an investigation into if Hitler was killed or not. There's something in there about how he survived and went to South America. But the thing that really interests me about it is, they were on that search for the Fountain of Youth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look at all these Nazis that escaped, they don't die young. A lot of these ended up living to almost 100, if not 100.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious what Hitler ended up finding or what they ended up doing and why. Because a lot of them, they're still very active, very spry until they end up in our judicial system. And then when they end up in jails and whatever is when they start really, going downhill.
Well, the Okinawans are the longest living people outside of Nepal.
Yeah.
There's one little city, town in Okinawa. They have a sign up at their on the outskirts of it. It says, if you're 80, you're still a child. If you're 90, you're just coming into adulthood. And if an angel comes to get you at 100, just tell him you'll think about it.
But they look young, too. They don't look old. You know what I mean?
No, they work. They work hard. I mean, all this modern technology made everybody lazy.
Mhm. Well, it's like to be a professional rice cooker, you have to just cooking rice. You have to be doing it for at least 25 years in order to be considered a professional rice cooker.
Yeah. I'm a professional rice eater.
Mhm.
I love my rice.
It's like, growing up, my neighbor came here from that area. And she was a war bride and became a translator for Unisys, which is like a 3M company.
Mhm.
Her dad was still alive. But she would never tell us how old she was. But she didn't honestly look like over 40. But we knew she was because her kids were that age. But it was just insane because we never, she's still alive to this day.
Wow.
And, she ended up taking her money because she became a Japanese translator before it was a thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the only thing that she could do to get a job. So she ended up being very good at it and making really good money doing it. And so what she ended up doing was buying orphanages over there. And so she spent half her time over there and then half her time here. And she'd bring the kids here to her house.
Mm-hmm.
And then, switch them, go back and forth so the kids could experience American holidays along with their holidays, and then make sure she sent over, presents and toys and things so that the kids all were taken care of. Sweetest, nicest lady I ever met. She'd never tell us how to make the food. She'd just make it for us. Like if you wanted the dumplings and the sauce that goes with the dumplings,
Mhm.
she'd always bring over a mason jar with it.
Wow.
With explicit directions on how to heat it up. But she'd never give us the recipes or teach us how to make it.
No, it's a well-guarded secret.
And then, so when all the kids and the grandkids hit a certain age, she'd take them to Hawaii and take them to Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
And teach them what happened and how they did wasn't right, and explain them both sides of the story. But she had no tolerance for that culture that comes over here just to look at it as a highlight of the American. We got one over on the American.
Some say the Americans knew it was coming. Others say it was a surprise attack. I think it was just miscommunication on both parts.
Well, then you look at it. Really look at the communication level we had back then. It isn't like you can just pick up a phone from a ship and radio back to the mainland. There were all these communications that had to go in place, like we had cell phones and, GPS things back then. And that's the one thing that, trying to get people to understand when they look at things is you got to look at it from that time period, not through standard eyes. But we were arrogant, too. I mean, when you look at it, Did we really think we were going to get attacked on our own soil? That hasn't happened
Yeah.
since we formed the country.
Do we really think we were going to get attacked on our own soil 9/11?
That's a little different, but yes. I mean, we had enough warnings to prevent 9/11. My problem with 9/11 is we trained them. I mean, Bin Laden went to our FBI offices. He got a whole tour of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest problem is that we shipped out Bin Laden's family from Florida out of the country when that happened. Instead of taking them in and finding things out, we just escorted them out.
Yeah, just kick them out.
We didn't freeze assets,
I don't know. The the longer military is run from a desk, seems like the more IQs go down.
Yeah. That's where I'm struggling with this whole Peter Hegseth thing becoming head of the DOD.
Oh, yeah.
I went to high school with the jerk. So you're younger than me. We literally went to the same high school. But he ran a platoon, that was it. He has no actual leadership experience whatsoever. And he was a National Guard. He wasn't full-time Army or military. He was a rent-a-soldier. Arrogant ass. He was back then, too. And the part that, I always find funny is he tried to run for mayor of our town and couldn't get elected. And he tried running opposite of Amy Klobuchar, our representative, and couldn't get elected. But you couldn't, you're a war hero that couldn't get elected to mayor of a small town because we know you and know who you are and don't like you. Wants to be in charge of our military.
Great.
And, he was doing an interview, and I had a big issue with it because he goes, women shouldn't be in combat roles because, I don't believe women should be on the front line, but every job in the military could end up as a combat role. Because he was bringing up, women drivers for supply that ended up hitting an IED. That could happen to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Not just, that's just telling me you think we suck because we're women drivers. I mean, literally every job could be considered a combat role when you're driving. And if you end up doing a job that requires, or if you're going into the front line duty, going into infantry, then you should be able to make it as a man on equal terms, not having the standards slightly different because you're a girl.
Yeah, look at the idea.
Women. Yeah. Look at us. It's odd. There's a lot of roles that women play that we just face on our strength. But I don't believe women should be infantry at all. But he was citing things like in boot camp and you're doing hand-to-hand combat training. We don't beat the crap out of each other on purpose. You know, how men are smarter than women or whatever. But when you start spewing women can't be in combat, that's a very generic term, and that really tells me your viewpoint on how women are, that we're beneath you. And you're not using the terms correctly, like women shouldn't be in frontline combat.
Exactly. That's
that
crazy.
I completely agree with.
I don't agree with that either. I'm all for equality of women, and respect goes a long way.
As long as you can do it as well as a man can in the same standards, I'm all for it.
Some women can probably do it better than I can.
My husband learned that one.
Now.
We were screwing around, and he looked at me, and he, you know, when I first got back,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "You can't put me down." I go, "You want to make a bet? Come here, let's try it." In less than a minute, his ass is on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're probably wondering what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like people today, man. There's about three types of people. Did you know that?
Mhm. Thought there were four.
Those who make, huh?
Thought there were four.
No, actually, there's only three. Well, there could be four, but the three that I know of is people that make things happen, people that think they make things happen, and people who wonder what happened.
Okay. We call the fourth one the ones that just don't care.
Yeah, that's my attitude.
That just skate through life.
IDC, IDK, and IDF. Right?
That's it.
The name of the game.
And what we need to do is break, they don't do shark attacks anymore. We need to go back to old school and breaking down and building back up and putting them back into isolation. You get your cell phone from the whole time in boot camp. We're too focused on individuality and mental health than we are on training them to become something.
Definitely. Boot camp has lost its, how you going to say it?
It becomes a 55 system.
Yeah, it's lost its teeth. Now
Yeah.
all they do is just get gummed.
That's it. And the thing is that how do you deal with the atrocities that you have to deal with if you're not being mentally trained to be able to deal with that? And I truly believe that's part of the reason why we have such a mental health crisis in the military. You're always going to get suicide issues. They're getting worse instead of better as we handhold everything.
Well, anytime man gets involved with anything, it seems like he always screws it up. One way or the other.
I truly believe in order to be president, you should be required to have some sort of military duty. Preferably combat duty, at least have some kind of military duty. At least with Trump, he did ROTC and did, military school. So he's got a little bit of a taste. Because how do you run an army that you have never been involved in?
Right. That's why Dingaling did such a poor job.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Both of them.
Okay. Because you got the pretty boy that, the stress card. Well, if it's too tough, you can hold up a pink card and take a break.
Oh, God.
And then it was you couldn't train when it rained because they're government property and we couldn't damage the government property.
Yeah, they stopped the war.
Even though, yeah, well, that was what we used to joke about. And it was so funny because I always found it ironic. It's like when we trained, if it started raining, we'd go sit under a metal building and watch it rain and storm. Like, seriously? Really? So we used to joke about it, when we deployed. It was like, okay, we'll stop fighting. We'll come back here 100, right at an hour after it rains, and we'll start back up.
Good grief.
That was the joke because, we don't train when it rains.
We had to run the obstacle course in the rain.
You used to get woken up just because it was raining. You learned how to persevere through that's why our uniforms and our boots were designed to dry as we wear them.
Mm-hmm.
I got a pair of combat boots for my husband. He wears them for work. And he's like, well, they're wet. And I go, yeah, just keep wearing them. Give them a half hour. They'll be dry.
Yeah, that's right.
Looking at me like I'm nuts. I'm like, no, seriously, try it. They won't dry if they're sitting here. But,
what got me was in basic training. Now they run in sneakers. Whenever I went to basic training, we ran in combat boots.
We do both. Like, we used to do both. So, like, when we did normal morning PT.
Normal?
We would do sneakers. And then it sucked is when we didn't get the call for the change of uniform. Sometimes some of the units got left out of the call. So, like, we were in Virginia. And it was November, and we had the first cold snap. And it was 20 degrees, and we're out in shorts and a T-shirt freezing our ass off because you're doing a company run. It wasn't so you're not even doing a regular PT. You're doing company runs. So you're basically walking because you all got to stay together. Freezing our ass off because you're not running fast enough to warm yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the other training where we just do it in our boots. But, like, I got the guy, I made so much money in boot camp. So, the boot camp boots suck. They're hard. They don't fit right. They tear the crap out of your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I figured out, because I ended up with just raw blisters on the back of my feet, my heels. And so I take pads from when you get your period, and I put them in my foot, in my shoe, in my boot.
Mm-hmm.
And it would pattern it just right, but it would also absorb, all the goo that comes out. And so the guys would send me to the store to go buy pads. so they could wear them too. It was like insoles without insoles.
Yeah.
I made so much money. Like, sure, but it's going to cost you. Because I ended up getting pulled aside by my sergeant wanting to know if everything was okay because I was buying, cases of pads or, packages of pads like every other day. And making sure, it wasn't just, health issues. Like, no, this is what we're doing with them. Okay, just making sure. Or, they said back before we changed over, we still had those stupid black shiny boots.
Yeah.
I absolutely hated because you could never get them shiny. You could never get the scuff marks out.
Uh-uh.
And we used tampons to polish them. Because they're lint-free, 100% cotton. So the guys would send me to the store to pick those up.
Wow, it looks like it's coming up on that time already. Holy moly.
It is. And my daughter's the same innovator that I was. She's now working with our church because she feels so bad about the people who don't have enough food. She wants to create her own business to help make sure there's enough food for all of the homeless people. And so she's coordinating food drives for the homeless, for the food shelves.
Tampon Tim treating you guys.
I haven't talked to him in a while. I've kind of walked away from Reboot when they redid what they did. They started selling out a little bit, and it's not as much faith as it used to be.
Why?
Because they want to hit the masses instead of select people. So the first couple classes, they don't even talk about faith. It's like almost like a bait and switch. But yeah, it's not nearly as much Bible stuff and faith stuff as it used to be.
Huh. That's not good.
No, I was not a fan of the new. And you don't hear as much stories from service members like you used to either.
That's just wrong.
I used to watch the videos. So, you get this bunch of crap that it gets you helping, gets you going, but it opens you up and then it leaves you hanging. Now. I should call Tim and check in. I haven't talked to him in a while. Him and Kevin.
Yeah, I haven't talked to them for a while either.
Well, Kevin's the one that got me the information so I can get my chaplain certification.
Huh. Yeah, I always thought about being growing up. I wanted to be a priest. Said, nah. Reality hit me. I said, no, I don't think so.
I always used to threaten to be when my mom would piss me off when I was a kid, I used to threaten to join the convent and become a nun. But we are out of time for today. Have a good week. It's the start of the Christmas season. Coming up, hopefully Santa Claus feels better. We'll have him back on the show. And we will be working on a transition as soon as we get more information. we will bring it to you, so there will be a seamless transition. The good news is because of the feed that we use, all of our platforms, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, none of that will change. That will stay the same. So you can still listen to the replays and all the shows that way. I got to transfer everything out of this platform into another platform.
Okay. And send me that stuff.
And I will send you that stuff in the next day or so.
Okay.
Have a good day. Have a good night. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow for Travel Tuesday. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.